All right, today we're going to dive into some truly timeless wisdom from the ancient I Ching. We're going to unpack 4 of its core teachings to help us understand something we all go through, those natural cycles of growth and decay, in our lives, our work, and pretty much everything we do. So let's jump right in.
So here's the game plan. We're going to follow this cycle step by step. First, we'll talk about recognizing when things start to slowly decay. Then we'll look for that exact U-turn point, the moment things start to get better. After that, we'll get into the wisdom you need to actually stay on that path. And finally, we'll put it all together so you can really start to master these cycles for yourself.
You know that feeling, right? That sense that something is just a little off? A project that's losing its spark, a relationship that feels a bit distant, or maybe a team culture that's just not what it used to be. It's not some big, sudden crash. It's more like a slow, quiet unraveling. Well, the I Ching actually has a name for this. It calls this process stripping, and it's represented by hexagram number 23. Now, what's a hexagram? Don't worry, it's just a symbol made of 6 lines that the I Ching uses to describe a specific situation. And this one isn't about a big explosion. It's about a gradual decay, a cracking and splitting that happens from the inside out. The image for stripping is incredibly powerful. Just look at it. You've got 5 dark lines stacked up from the bottom with just one single light line barely hanging on at the very top. What this shows is decay rising up from the foundation, slowly but surely pushing out the light. The key thing here is that this process is subtle, it's slow, and it's often really hard to spot at first. To make this real, the I Ching gives us this brilliant metaphor of a bed falling apart. Okay, so picture this. First, the decay starts at the feet, the absolute foundation. Maybe the frontline people aren't doing their jobs right, but leadership is clueless. Then it spreads to the joints. Warnings start to pop up, but they get ignored. By stage 3, you see what's happening and you have a choice. Do you break away and stick to your principles? Because by stage 4, the decay hits the board of the bed. It's touching you now, and disaster is right around the corner. It's only then, at stage 5, that leaders finally wake up and try to fix things. And at the end, justice prevails. The cycle completes. So the big lesson from stripping is all about being vigilant. Danger often loves to hide inside success, right when we let our guard down. We have to spot those first tiny signs of trouble, actually listen to the warnings, and hold on to our integrity. But hey, decay is only half the story. After the breakdown, that's when we get to the turning point. And right after the decay of stripping, we get hexagram number 24, return. This is it. This is the moment things start to turn around. It's all about recovery, restoration, and renewal. And this slide just lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? Look at the contrast here. Stripping is darkness creeping up from the bottom, but return is light coming back also from the bottom. The 2 hexagrams are perfect mirror images of each other. One is a system falling apart. The other is a system starting to come back together. This is that crucial pivot point. So just like the decay started from the ground up, the recovery does too. That single light line, the yang line, shows up at the very bottom of the hexagram. It's a sign that a strong, positive force has finally arrived and is starting to push back against the darkness. This, right here, is the moment of hope. Now, this is interesting. The I Ching also puts a lot of focus on the number 7. There's a phrase, it returns on the 7th day. This isn't meant to be taken literally, like 7 calendar days. It's more of a symbol for a universal rhythm, a natural cycle. A week has 7 days. There are all sorts of biological cycles that follow this pattern. The core idea is that renewal takes time and it follows its own natural, predictable rhythm. The advice for this phase is incredibly practical. The faster you realize you're off track, the easier it is to correct your course. It also says that sometimes you just need to pause, rest, and learn before you can move on. And this is crucial. A real return isn't just a quick fix on the surface. It has to come from a genuine, sincere change of heart. But what tools do we need to make sure this U-turn actually sticks? Well, that brings us to our next 2 hexagrams, and these are the essential pieces of wisdom you need for the journey back. You can think of these as your personal toolkit for building a strong, resilient recovery. First up, we have hexagram 25, not bizarre. And yeah, that's a pretty unusual name, right? It's a powerful reminder to just be realistic. The original character for bizarre here actually means wild fantasies, so the teaching is crystal clear. Real success and stability come from following timeless fundamental principles, things like truth, integrity, and fairness, not from chasing some crazy scheme or looking for shortcuts.
This quote really captures the whole spirit of being not bizarre. It's a reminder that there are no shortcuts in life. Simple as that. You don't get a harvest if you don't plow the field first. Real, lasting success is built on principled effort over time, one step at a time. And all that hard work brings us to Hexagram 26, large accumulation. This is all about building up your inner strength. The image here is of a steady, stable mountain that contains the immense power of heaven inside it. And this isn't about accumulating stuff, like money or power. It's about the daily, little-by-little buildup of knowledge, of wisdom, and of moral character. This really gets to the heart of it all. Your ability to stay calm, to make wise choices when everything's in chaos, that comes from the moral strength you've been building up day after day. That inner reserve, that's what lets you stand firm when the world outside is shaking. Okay, so let's pull all four of these incredible ideas together. Let's build a single, solid framework that you can use to start mastering the cycles of life. This chart just lays it all out so clearly. You start by recognizing the problem with stripping, that quiet decay. Then you hit your turning point with return, making that early, sincere correction. The path you follow is guided by not bizarre, sticking to realistic, timeless principles. And the whole thing is built on your foundation, that large accumulation of inner strength and character that you build every single day. And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. These cycles of growth and decay, they're not something you should fear or try to avoid. They're a fundamental part of nature itself. The real goal is to master them, to see them coming, to know how to navigate that turn, and to have the inner strength to come out on the other side stronger and wiser than before. So I'll leave you with this to think about. When you look at your own life, your job, or any project you're working on, where are you in this cycle right now? And based on all this ancient wisdom, what's your next wise move?